Hey everyone, how are you doing? Welcome back to Let's Play Smite, a online multiplayer battle arena game just like League of Legends except with a really cool camera. Today we are playing a multiplayer arena mode. This is an actual match, so it's not a bot match, and I am playing as Ymir, the Frost Giant King, or whatever he is. He's the father of Frost Giants. He's a pretty cool character, and I actually end up starting with boots for him. So I started out a little bit faster. I went with Greaves because I was just looking up recommended builds. I had played Ymir twice prior to this match, and I think I did pretty good for, being pretty newbie at this game still. Now, Ymir is a pretty interesting character in that you can build him a few different ways. For this match, I went primarily making him a character to support the rest of my team. So I didn't go for kills really. I went more for assists, which you'll be able to see in at the end of the match how my kill death assist ratio was. There are a couple different ways to build Ymir that I've played so far. One way is to build him like magical damage, which makes him a pretty good character. I mean, he ends up being kind of squishy, and there was an early death for you. He ends up being kind of squishy because he doesn't really have all that good defense unless you build it, but his attacks end up doing tons of damage. Now, you see, his attacks don't, if you do build him like that, his attacks don't scale as well as like a mage would. But he does have a little bit more health to compensate for that, and if someone left your team, or if you got stuck solo laning Ymir against another solo lane, then you would want to build him magic damage. Or if you were doing an all random all mid assault game, and you just got Ymir, that's something you could try. You can also build him as a pure tank, so you could build him completely defensively. That would be good if you were doing top lane in the domination mode, so you could defend pretty well, and you would have a lot of sustain to stay in your lane, which is extremely important when you're solo laning. Another thing that you could build, and I built him like this here, is I built him with minor magic damage boost, so a little bit to help him out, help out my team on those the damage using mostly my 2 ability. And I also built him with better mana regen and mana bar. So and also mana regen per 5, which is his mana regen every 5 seconds. Now, the reason I did that is so I could sustain my time in the arena some more. And you can see right here, that's a good use of Ymir's ice wall, is trapping everyone. That's how I primarily play Ymir if I'm playing him as a support, is that I'll let my carry or my damage dealer kind of start wailing on the enemy, and then when the enemy tries to retreat, I'll hit them 1 or 2 times with like the frost breath or whatever. If the enemy tries to retreat, I'll trap him with ice wall, and it's just, people usually don't expect it. I mean, if they're used to playing against Ymir, they're gonna be like, he's gonna summon fucking ice. But it's a great way. Also, his that was his 3 ability there. His frost breath freezes people in their tracks if you hit them with it, unless they're immune to some sort of paralyze or stun. So there's another ice wall. That one was not as effective, but there's 2 ways to use ice wall really. There's trapping someone, which is kind of the primary way to use it, especially if you need to chase someone down. And then there's using ice wall to block someone's line of sight. Here's another ice wall. There you go. That's exactly how you would want to support your team, by throwing up that ice wall there and making it so people just cannot escape. It's very similar to Thor's ability, except it's a little bit easier to knock people out with. And there's another good example, although it's a little bit less effective because he could easily go around it, but had it been just a little bit closer, it would have been much harder for him to skirt around the outside of that ice wall. Now this is the arena mode, so it's just basically kills versus kills here. You have a certain amount of tickets to spend on lives. So the important thing to do is not die. And actually, I don't think I ended up with many deaths. I think my deaths in this match were less than 5. So that's not too bad. Let's see here. Yeah, I think I did fairly well in this match. I don't know whose ability that is. I'm fairly certain that is a global ult that stuns you and blinds you. And also silences you, so it's pretty good, but I don't think it ever really helped him that much in this match. You can see him building Stone of Gaia as well, just to get HP 5, MP 5. A little bit more sustain in the arena with that item. I don't really have my build for Ymir nailed down yet, but I would like to. He seems like a pretty fun character to play, and I think he is a default god, so he's a pretty easy support. I mean, it's pretty easy. He doesn't have like a lot of combos or like secret tricky stuff you could do with his abilities. So if you want to jump into the game and play a tank or a support, Ymir's a good pick, especially for people who aren't familiar with MOBAs, because his abilities are so straightforward. Here's a nice block. Oh no, that was a nice backfire. That's exactly how not to use your ice wall, because what happened was I tried to summon the ice wall and Poseidon just got over the threshold and he was separated from my teammate by it. So that's how you can backfire an ice wall right there. And that was a double kill from my teammate, which was nice. Like I said, I don't really go for many kills in this match. I was kind of trying to do a support build, and it worked out well. Here's a good. That's a good way to use ice wall. We blocked off Zeus from Neath, so that she got trapped in a group of my teammates, and her teammate was not able to help her. Now, when you throw up that ice wall, which is you know, you're gonna want to be doing it just to help out your team whenever you can. When you throw that ice wall up, if you're trying to get it between you and an enemy so you can maneuver or separate teammates from each other, it's important to know that people can still hit you through it, but they can't see you, so they kind of have to guess where you are. I just made it inside here. I survived that ult just because of my magic resist. This is about halfway through the match. This match didn't end up being very long. It was about 16 minutes. So yeah, there's an ice wall for you. His Frost Breath is a great tool because it stuns, and if you build a little bit of magic power, it does a good amount of damage. I'm in a bad spot right here. Like I said before in another video, I think it was the Neath video, Ymir's ult, his Ice Shards ability, where he slams his staff in it, or his club into the ground, and basically he slows everyone in a circle and then it explodes outwards, and just if you build magic power on him, it does tons of damage. But if you're going with the support role, it can also be helpful, because what it can do is it slows everyone in the radius, so you know, that can definitely help, especially during a team fight. And Arena and ARAM are pretty much all oriented around team fighting. And I'm in a bad way right here. I try to use this, unfortunately for me. Oh, look at that right there. That was a kill. I was going to say, unfortunately for me, they escape, but there is a point where I use an ult and someone is smart enough to use their jumping ability and they get out of it at the last second, which was a good play on their part. I'll point that out if I see it here. But that ult actually got a kill. You could see that even without building much damaging power on Ymir, I'm still hitting around 1600 for my ult. So he has a really good damage scaling, even if you don't want to build stuff like that. I kind of branched out to build some other stuff on him, like Ethereal Staff, just because at this point, I mean, I can support all I want, but if you're playing Arena, you're not really going to go for a full support build, because you need to at least be helping your team a little bit more with damage. But as you can see right now, I'm 2-1-11 at like 10 minutes and 30 seconds, so that's a pretty good score. I'm pretty good at not dying so far, and I think that mainly just comes from me playing League of Legends for like a year. But yeah, I'm definitely still getting used to Smite. Like I said before, I am enjoying it quite a bit, mostly because it's a lot more casual, which is great because just the communities in MOBAs are usually notoriously mean and terrible. They're like, people make fun of Call of Duty's community and Halo's community, but League of Legends has literally been the worst experience in community that I've ever had. Dota I can't speak for because I've only played a little bit of it. I have Dota 2, but well, everyone does, I believe. It's free. But I've only played it once or twice with some friends, so I can't really speak for their community, but I've heard that it's bad, but I don't want to say it is or it isn't. Smite so far, no one really talks. I did have one guy add me as a friend after this match, which was nice of him. I haven't played with him again yet, but yeah, I can't really say excuse me, how the community is for this game yet, because I really haven't played all that much. There's a good ice wall right there. I don't know. I think she just got really like super confused and just tried to back into it. I don't know why she didn't just go right or left and leave, but it worked out, so. Let's see. Zambassador, whatever her name is just eating my abilities in the face. That's kind of what happens sometimes. And as you can see, our team is down by a little bit. It didn't really, while I was playing, I was actually kind of surprised we were losing. But, I mean, you have to hand it to the enemy team here. They definitely had good picks. Our pick, we had Tyr on our team. The guy right in front of me is playing as him, and he's the newer hero. And I've heard people say he's overpowered, but I haven't really seen him in action too much. I haven't tried playing as him yet, but maybe I will at some point. Characters I really like so far are I really like Neith. I really like Thor. He's fun. And I really like Ymir. Now, all three of those are default gods, so they're kind of all low barrier of entry, easy to grasp gods to play, but they're pretty fun nonetheless. One god I really like, I tried just in an arena match just to see how they were. Actually, two. Fenrir is really cool, and the reason I like Fenrir is because when I played League of Legends, I usually played Warwick jungle, and he's set up almost the same as Fenrir. They're both wolves. They both can use lifesteal to pretty good effect, and they both pretty much leap at their enemies and do these jumping attacks that have like multi-hit effects. So they're both set up pretty similarly. And also I like playing the Valkyrie, what's her name, Freya. Freya is really cool. I like her abilities a lot. She reminds me of Kayle from League of Legends, who was my first character that I ever bought, because she has like kind of the melee attack turning into a ranged attack depending on what ability you use. And Freya is god. All you got to do is build attack speed on her, and she goes right to town. She has like a built-in lifesteal that is really helpful with her. She was pretty fun, although I think I lost the match I played as her, but I might check her out later. And you can see as you keep leveling up Ice Wall, it stays for longer and longer, which is a good thing or a bad thing depending on how you look at it. If you're bad with Ice Wall, then you might not want to level it up as much, actually, because it'll just sit there, and you can actually, like, when I first played as Ymir, excuse me, I trapped myself against my own Ice Wall, like in a wall, but a couple of times before I really got the hang of him. Here's an ult here, but it doesn't hit anyone, unfortunately. Yeah, 2-1-14, not bad. I think I died one or two more times. Maybe I didn't. That's a pretty good, you know, for a support build, that's really what you want to shoot for. At least in League of Legends, that's what you would want to go for, is a high number of assists low number of deaths and low number of kills. Or if you could have a high number of kills as your assist, you're probably not doing it right. The point of a support character is to support your carry. And the reason why they have a support character, if you don't know, if you're not familiar with MOBAs, is to make it so your carry can get lots of kills and lots of gold and just snowball their damage extremely high. 2-1-15, so two kills, 1 death, 15 assists. Pretty good, even though we lost. Had a lot of fun with this match. Ymir is a cool character, and I hope to get his special skin for getting level 30 before the beta ends. I mean, look at that, I'm level 4, so I'm 1/4 of the way there. Not really 1/4, more than that, but well, anyway, thank you for watching. I hope you have a nice night, and I will see you again soon. See ya.